going on, NDM crew? We're in the final stages of getting our Toyota Crown running. So for today, our final things that we have to do are we have to get a clutch line ran from the master cylinder to the slave. We already attempted to do this with a pre-flared line, but it's just not long enough, and the next size up is way too long. We don't want something that looks too sloppy. So we're gonna create our own using a new tool that neither of us have ever used right here. It's supposed to be the bee's knees.
The bee's knees!
Yeah, and we have two new fittings, longer fittings, because we had issues with the fittings that came with the pre-flared line.
Yeah, they weren't long enough, they were bottoming out.
Bottoming out and they weren't sealing.
They weren't sealing. And addition to this, we have to get the starter in place and on the car. We have to start it up, hopefully.
Oh, we gotta put coolant oil in.
Coolant oil, so we have to do our fluids, and then we're gonna start it up, check for leaks, and hopefully everything is good, which we're assuming should be good. We're being positive. We can bring the car down and it'll be ready to go and start getting things wrapped up with the body and frame.
So we got our first end of our line flared and our fitting installed in the right direction. And we have our line cut to the right length and our other fitting put on in the right direction. We're going to show you how we flared that on the other side there with our Eastwood tool. Alright guys, so we have our tool set up on the vise like this. We've selected our proper, I guess you could say, flaring tool. There's different sizes and different flare types. So we have the 3/16 one with the double flare. And the way you set it up is you want the line flush with the end of the tool here. And also you need to select your proper flare. So that's done like so. And that's the 3/16 double flare. So flush like that. And then we get our other half of our tool, put it on top, like so. Bring our holder in, lock it in place, crank her down. So that's gonna hold the line in place when we flare it. Now, one good thing to do is to just verify that it's still flush. It looks good to me. And I would probably do a test fit just to make sure that the tool lines up nice with the line. So we discovered that there's two different options. You have to do it twice. So you do the first flare.
If you're doing a double flare.
If you're doing a double flare. So we're doing a double flare, so we need to do it twice. So we were doing it correctly, just not using the tool properly, I guess. So I'll lock our thing in place. Make sure our line is flush with the end of the tool. Those are in the right direction. And this is option number 1 or 2?
No, this is the wrong one.
This is the one that we flare first. So
is that the right 3/16?
Yeah. So we go basically until it stops. It takes quite a bit of resistance. And then you remove this tool.
If you look in there, you can see that it's bubbled.
It's made a bubble flare. So now to turn the bubble flare into a double flare, we install this tool, make sure it's in the 3/16 setting. I always do a test fit to make sure it lines up with the line good. The hole in line, and then go basically until it stops. That's it. In theory, we should have a nice flare, which we do.
All right guys, we just wrapped up setting up the clutch, making sure the pedal is all good, bleeding the system. We had to do some extensive adjustments with the rod here that comes out of the slave cylinder. So you can extend that, make it shorter or longer to adjust the free play of the clutch pedal. We had to take that out probably a good 6 or 7 times and adjust it to get it the way that we want it to the spec that's in the service manual that we have, and it feels a lot better now. So the clutch system is now all wrapped up, and now we're going to move on to installing the starter, which should be good. As you can see there, Anthony is depressing the clutch. You can see the movement there. But everything seems to be good on the clutch side. So now we got the starter and then a couple other little things and we should be able to fire this thing up.
What I'm doing. There we go. It's in place, it's just not on the stud.
Alright guys, we're getting to the point where we can crank over the crown. We got oil in it, we got coolant in it, we double checked everything. And Anthony's now just taking a third check just to go over the engine bay, making sure everything looks good. We have the air box on there. We had to button up some things with the throttle linkages. Batteries in, not sure if I mentioned that, but everything should be good now to try and start it. So we'll see what happens. It's been quite a while since this thing has run and run good, and let's see what happens. Alright, let's see what she can do.
She might need the spray.
No, we'll just try it like this. If we can start under it. Stop it. Stop it. Cut it. Okay, try it now. Under its own power. There we go. Guys, it's running a little bit rough, as you can see the engine shaking and
Well, probably the fuel.
yeah, the fuel's
Check
kind
the
of
leaks and check to top up the coolant. I'm gonna check the oil level before we do anything else now.
motor's shaking a lot, man. Alright guys, the thing is running mint. Now we're pretty happy. We got no leaks. We checked the braking system, cooling system, power steering system. We actually just did a flush of the power steering system here. Still gotta get up to temperature, but I think we're fairly confident now that we can bring the car down and see what happens. Maybe
Straight out the fender and drive it.
yeah, straight out the fender, drive it, pull it out, take it for a spin. We'll see. Alright guys, here it is. On the ground, it's out. Everything is working. So now it's just time for frame repair and then body shop, and she'll be good to go. We're ready, and you know what? That just means that we got a spot right here that we need to fill. Alright guys, we made huge progress today. We wrapped up what we wanted to get mechanically done on the crown. We noticed a little bit of a coolant leak, but it's nothing to be worrying about. We know where the leak is coming from, so we can tackle that down the road once it comes back from the body shop. So next is the frame repair, like we said, and then hopefully to the body shop. We'll see what happens from there, but everything seems to be running pretty good. We're excited.
So with this car done and finished, we got lots of time and lots of space to start tackling the new project, so stay tuned for that. And that doesn't feel like it's going any further. And it looks like we fucked it up.
No.
Oh my god, it looks like shit.